What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about the Hojo's Laboratory Crisis Dungeon. Very hard. I did already clear it once before, but I'm going to clear it again for this video. So let's take a look at Hojo's Laboratory. The enemies. Let's take a look at the enemies first. So looking at all the enemies at a glance, you can see that there are no recommended elements, so they're not weak. None of the enemies are weak to any element, so the best element to bring for this dungeon is going to be non-elemental damage. And actually you have to bring non-elemental damage because of Astral Iron Giant. So Astral Iron Giant is resistant to all elements. It says right here, has high elemental resistance and reduces damage of all elemental attacks. So if you want to, you need to beat Astral Iron Giant, so you need to bring non-elemental damage to this dungeon. Okay, other bosses you can hit them with elemental damage, but because Astral Giant exists, you might as well just focus on your non-elemental DPS. And you can use magic or physical, it doesn't really matter. Use whichever one is best for your team. Okay, and let's also look at sigils. So you can see every boss requires circle sigils. Genova, you can use X on Genova, and you could use triangle on Dragon, but you don't need to. So the only sigil you need to bring in this dungeon is circle. And other than that, Behemoth has a but during the sigil phase for Behemoth counters magic attacks. So you're gonna want to bring Circle Ruin Blows. Circle Ruin Blows. Those are the physical ruins, so that Behemoth will not counterattack you. And yeah, okay, so that's the overview, right? You're gonna want non-elemental damage, magic or physical, or both. You can run 2 DPS for this dungeon if you want, and then you're going to want to run Circle Ruin Blows. Okay, now let's take a look at the individual bosses. Let's take a look at Behemoth. Behemoth is mainly we're going to look at the immunities. So immune to poison, can't bio it, and immune to defense down. So the only way to increase your DPS against Behemoth is to increase your own physical or magic attack. And yeah, you also want, Behemoth also does Behemoth does both physical and magic damage. So but Behemoth is not immune to attack down, so you can decrease its physical attack, you can decrease its magic attack. And then you do also want to increase your party's magic defense and physical defense. Yeah, and then during the sigil phase, do not use magic attacks on it, just use your ruin blows. Yeah, that's all to say about Behemoth. It's the first boss, and yeah, just defend yourself well, debuff its physical and magic attack, and eventually it will die. So after Behemoth, you have a choice. So let's look at the map. So Behemoth here is the first boss, right? And then after that, you have a choice between the other 3. You can choose any of the 3. I recommend doing Dine last. He's just really easy. I found, so like he didn't even feel like a boss. So Dine, I do recommend fighting last. Unless, actually, hold on, let me, maybe it's only for me. So Dine is immune to physical attack down, magic attack down. So actually he could do some good damage. If your DPS is low, you might want to choose Dine first. So sorry, let me take that back. Let me tell you which ones you should choose depending on your what your party has. So yeah, actually, okay, yeah, you might want to do Dine first. It depends on your account. I choose to do him last because he's quite easy to kill. But if your DPS is low, well, my DPS is pretty high. So if your DPS is low, you might want to choose Dine first, because Dine is immune to physical attack down, magic attack down. But the Dragon and Astral Giant, they are not immune to physical attack down, magic attack down. So it's easier to tank Astral Iron Giant and Dragon. It's harder to tank Dine. So yeah, I would choose Dine if your DPS is low. But the problem is Dine inflicts darkness, and if you kill Dragon first, or if you kill Dragon before you kill Dine, Dragon, one of the buffs, you get to choose three trans effects after you kill each boss. One of the trans effects is you can have 100% darkness immunity. So generally speaking, I would choose to fight Dragon before fighting Dine. So you would fight Dragon for the darkness immunity, and then you can fight Dine. But if you're using, non-elemental magic damage, then you don't really care about darkness, right? If your team is a magic team, then you don't really care about darkness. So you could fight Dine first in that case. Yeah. Okay. Dragon is. Let's talk about Dragon next. Dragon is pretty easy. The main difficulty with Dragon is that Dragon inflicts poison on your team. So if you don't bring a poison Asuna, then that can start to do a lot of damage to your team. So I do recommend killing Dragon early. So actually my path is, first I'll kill Behemoth. I mean, you have to kill Behemoth first. Then I would choose Dragon because poison, and I don't want to bring a poison Asuna. Materia slots are very valuable in this dungeon because the final boss, Genova Birth, inflicts fatigue and fog, which can be really annoying. So it's highly recommended that your party brings multiple Asuna fatigues, Asuna fogs. So you're not gonna, and since you need circle sigils as well, you're not gonna have that many materia slots available. So if you do bring Asuna poison, it'll be probably one less slot that you have. But you can definitely fit an Asuna poison in your team if you want. But I think it's easier to just kill Dragon second, and therefore the poison won't damage your team too much. Again, it does depend on your DPS though. So if your DPS is low, then you do need to bring in an Asuna poison. Okay, but Dragon is easy because other than the poison, Dragon is not immune to anything. Or it's immune to poison, but you can hit Dragon with physical defense down, magic defense down. You can hit Dragon with physical attack down, magic attack down, right? You can debuff it with a lot of things. So other than the poison, Dragon is pretty easy. But yeah, the poison is annoying, so I would choose to kill it second. After killing Dragon second, you have the choice between Astral Iron Giant and Dine. Depending on your team, again, like I said, Dine is if your team has low DPS, I would choose Dine. But if your team has high DPS, I would choose Astral Iron Giant because he comes with these two add-ons, which are kind of annoying. And if you're you can kill them with AoE, but there aren't that many AoE non-elemental DPS weapons. So if you don't have AoE non-elemental damage, you want to kill these with limit breaks. So you want to kill them with limit breaks. So if you have your limit breaks ready, it would be nice to go into Astral Giant. If you don't have your limit breaks ready, actually, then you could do Dine and build up your limit breaks to be able to take on Astral Giant's add-ons. These add-ons are really annoying. They keep stunning you. So yeah. But you don't need to use limit breaks on Astral Giant. You could also just target them. Their HP is not that high, so you can just kill them individually as well. It's really up to you. So again, just the main thing with Dyne is Dyne does darkness, but you know, killing Dragon will give you darkness immunity, and then Dyne is immune to physical attack down, magic attack down. So yeah, if your team is not tanky enough, or if you take too long, he will start to hurt a lot. And then Astral Giant is not too hard. I mean, you can't use any elements on him, but I would say Astral Giant is probably the easiest of the three if you can kill the add-ons quickly with like a limit break. Okay, and then after you kill all these bosses, then you're going to finally reach the final boss. Final boss, you'll most likely have an elixir to use, a mega elixir to heal your party completely, and also there you will find jellies to increase your magic and physical defense, which are helpful because Jenova does mainly magic damage, but then actually, no, Jenova, yeah, mainly magic damage, but also a little bit of physical damage. And then again, it comes with these annoying add-ons, but you can kill these add-ons with your limit breaks, especially if you use your mega elixir. So the main thing with Jenova is, well, also immune to poison. So it seems like, are all the bosses immune to poison? I think so. Maybe not Dyne. Okay, Dyne is the only one you can poison, but all the other bosses are immune to poison, so not really worth bringing poison unless Dyne is giving you trouble. Other than poison immunity, Jenova Earth is immune to physical magic defense down, so it will be a kind of long fight because you can't lower Jenova's defense, but you can lower Jenova's attack, and it would be a good idea to lower Jenova's attack because Jenova does pretty good damage. Yeah. But the main annoying thing is Jenova does fatigue and fog on your party. So since we're bringing, since I recommended we bring Ruin Blows, right? Because Behemoth counters magic attacks, so you definitely want to clear fatigue because during the sigil phase, you need to use physical Ruin Blows, and if you're fatigued, it'll be difficult to clear the sigil phase. For fog is less necessary, but it still is probably necessary. Like, you probably still want to clear fog, at least on your healer, because I think unless your healer is Tifa, all other healers, their healing abilities are considered to be magic abilities. So you do want to clear fog on your healer at least, and if you're using magic DPS, then you definitely want to clear fog on your magic DPS. So yeah, Jenova Birth, make sure you're bringing Asuna Fatigue and Asuna Fog. You probably also want magic defense up on your team. Behemoth actually does good magic damage, and it's actually just these two. Behemoth does good magic damage, and Jenova Birth does a lot of magic damage as well as decreasing your team's magic defense. So if you want to survive, yeah, highly recommended you bring magic defense up buffs to your party. Physical defense up is also useful. Jenova does do some physical damage. Behemoth does some physical damage. Astral Iron Giant does a lot of physical damage, and Dyne does a lot of physical damage, and you can't debuff Dyne's physical attack. So both defenses are useful here. So really a general thing is you want physical defense up, you want magic defense up, you want either physical attack or magic attack up, depending on your DPS, and you want physical defense or magic defense down, again depending on your DPS, and then last you want to debuff the enemy's physical and magic attack, because most of the enemies are not immune to that. So I think, yeah, Dyne is the only enemy that is immune to physical attack down and magic attack down. So yeah. Okay, so with that said, let's look at the party I decided to go with. I decided to go with a single DPS and and a healer and a debuffer buffer. So single DPS, I went with Zac, and he's using a ceremonial sword, non-elemental physical damage. For my buff debuffer, I went with Barret. He's got Electro Cannon, which does AoE, physical attack, magic attack down, so that's great. It's going to debuff everyone in both magic and physical. Barret is also using Assault Gun, that is my physical defense up. And Aerith is the healer. She is going to buff my team's magic defense, and she's going to debuff the enemy's physical defense. So I've got everything covered, like I said, right? I've got my non-elemental DPS. I have physical defense down to complement the physical DPS. I have physical attack up. Ceremonial Sword buffs Zac's own physical attack, but also Komura-wan does also increase physical attack for my entire party. So I have two sources of that. And for defense, I'm completely covered as well. I have Electro Cannon to decrease physical attack and decrease magic attack. And I have Assault Gun to increase physical defense, and I have Komura-wan to increase magic defense. So with this party, the DPS is a little low because I'm only running one DPS, but my defense is very, very high. I have every single defense covered with this party. And for materia, I do have circle sigils. I'm using circle ruin blows. Every party member has a circle sigil, and luckily for my party, I have Ceremonial Sword has a circle sigil boost here, and Electro Cannon also has a circle sigil boost. So sigil phases are going to be pretty easy for my party. And then the rest of these material, this is stat sticks, and I am running, remember I said Asunas, so I have 2 Asuna fatigues, because fatigue is the most important thing to clear, but I'm also running 1 Asuna fog, just to make sure my healer can heal my team as well. Okay, and with that, I can briefly show you the sub-weapons or stats of my party. So Zac is using, he's using Ceremonial Sword for damage, physical damage. This is just giving him physical attack. Sub-weapons are just pure damage, so no defense on Zac. He's going to be using 8700 HP. Actually, well, 1 defensive weapon. He's using Buster Sword, which gives him some extra HP. But these are mainly giving him attack and physical ability potency. So he's maxed out his physical attack. He's got level 6 in regular attack, maxed out on the physical ability potency, and level 2 on regular ability potency. For Barret, the sub-weapons for Barret, Barret is just here to buff and debuff, so sub-weapons are party weapons, like Stream Slasher is boost physical attack to all allies, so boost Zac's physical attack. I gave him Umbrella, which boosts magic defense for my entire team. And I gave him Protector's Blow. I might change this actually. I don't really need magic attack, so let's change it to, let's increase my team's defense even more, giving him Rocket Punch, which increases my entire team's physical defense. So Barret is not here to do any damage. He's not here to heal. He's just here to support the team with buffs and debuffs. And then last, the healer Aerith. She is using Stream Saber to boost physical attack, Zac's physical attack, and these are healing sub weapons. So her stats. She has really high HP, good healing, 2800, and really high buff debuff extension, level 6 buff debuff extension and level 1 buff debuff extension plus. Okay, so that's the party, and now let's take a let's start the dungeon. Okay, so here we are in the dungeon. So remember, the first boss is going to be Behemoth. Let's take a look at Behemoth before we start. So Behemoth is immune to defense down, but otherwise we can debuff Behemoth's physical and magic attack. And make sure we don't use magic attacks during alert. We're using a physical team, so that's not really a problem. And let's go into it. I think I'm on auto, so I need to switch that. So for the only thing we can do to buff our damage is actually right? Yeah, we have to buff our own physical attack, and that's about it. So let's use Kimura Wand, and then just start DPSing it. We can also buff our defense here and debuff his attack. And yeah, we just hit him. Heal, I don't need defense stance because I have enough healing, so I can just stay in attack stance. And that's basically the fight. I mean, I guess there will be a sigil phase here. I need to buff my defense. Maybe buff it one more time. No, not enough time. That's okay. Yeah, it won't take too long. So here's the sigil phase. Pretty easy since we have circle sigil boost. I'm gonna save my ATB for Zac because he's a DPS. Can use this limit break for more, just a little extra damage. This is a fast charging limit break, so I'll have it up pretty often. I do want to save maybe one more so I can kill. I can go. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna kill the. I'm going to kill the dragon next, so I don't really need my limit break for that either. Another sigil phase. Again, really easy though because I have 2 sigil boosts. Again, I do want to save Zac's ATB, so there we go. One more and it'll die. Here it's dead. Okay. Easy for me because I am using an OB10 ceremonial. Your fight, I think most people don't have that, so your fight might take just a little bit longer, but yeah, just do the same thing for a bit longer, you'll be fine. For buffs, or for trances, I don't actually remember, but let's take a look now. Yeah, pretty easy. So if your team is a physical DPS team like mine, I'll choose this one. If you're using a magic DPS, you can choose this one. If you're using both, you could, because actually you can't use 2 DPS on this dungeon. You could choose this one. So my team is physical. I'm going to choose this one. And then so down here is the dragon. I am going to choose the dragon because I don't have Isuno poison, so I don't want to fight this. I don't want this fight to take too long. I forgot to look at the immunities, but I believe it's not immune to anything. Yeah, so we can decrease its defense, we can decrease its attack. We will do that. We'll start with, yeah. We want to increase our own team's defense as well. Let's decrease his defense. And Zac will just start attacking. Do want to use these. Actually, I probably should have saved that mind blow. I do need my limit breaks for the next boss. The next boss I'm going to do is Astral Iron Giant, and I'm not sure if my Zac's limit break can one-shot. It has 2 add-ons that I need to kill. So, actually, I probably would wish I saved Barrett's limit break. I don't need to defend. Actually, you see, it's almost dead. So, actually, I could defend this, but it really doesn't do that much damage. This poisons your entire team and does moderate damage. And I'll heal now because it is going to die right here with Zac's final attack. Maybe you could have killed it with a rune blow actually, but that's okay. I need to look at my limit breaks. I don't think I have my limit breaks up, so I did mess up, but it's not that big of a deal. I can kill it either way, or I can start fighting Astral Giant and I will get my limit breaks in the middle of the fight. But like I said here, you have choices. You could just choose to fight Dine next if your team is low on DPS. So here is the Darkness Resist. I would choose this if your team is a physical. If you're using physical DPS team, then choose Darkness. Even if you're not using a physical DPS team, you probably want Darkness because remember we're using circle ruin blows. Those are physical abilities, so you can't really clear Dine's sigil phase if your team has Darkness. So if you're not using Asuna Darkness, which I am not, you choose this. If you are, or if you fought Dine first and maybe you fought the dragon second, this stun resist actually it is pretty good because the Astral Iron Giant and Genova, the add-ons on those fights do stun your team. So stun is pretty good if you don't need the Darkness, but and this one is just pretty bad. So I would choose Darkness for my team because I don't have Asuna Darkness and I need to fight Dine. Yeah, wait, I forgot. It's okay. Astral Giant's here, so you can choose, right? Do you want to fight Astral Giant or Dine? For me, Dine is pretty easy, so I would choose Astral Giant. Zach almost has his limit break. I could fight Dine to build up my limit break. Actually, well, there's an add-on I can build my limit break with. So let me clear the add-on. There are some not add-ons. There are some, what do you call it? Non-boss fights. I think it's around here. Oh wait, what? Maybe here? Oh, it might. I don't know exactly where it is. Let me try to find it. Okay, here. So I'm just gonna fight these just to build up my limit breaks. I think these are pretty weak. Yeah, I can kill these with ruin blows. So Aerith has a limit break, that's good. Yeah, I can kill these with just ruin blows. Yeah, good enough. Okay, so now I can use Aerith limit break and Zach's limit break on the Astral Iron Giant. So let's go do that. Let's take a look at. I think it's not immune to anything as well. Yeah, not immune to anything, and mainly physical damage. So, okay. I'm gonna buff up my team and make sure I'm max stance, and then use limit breaks to try to kill the add-ons. Would have been better if I also had Barrett's limit break. I did waste Barrett's limit break, but yeah, that's okay. I do also want to decrease the physical defense before I limit break, so... and this is the stun we were talking about. It would be nice to be immune to stun if we can, but... Oh, I forgot to buff my team's physical defense, but this it actually does a lot of damage, yeah. So, better if I had physical defense up. That's okay. So now it's debuffed. Actually, where are the add-ons? Did they die? I don't see them. Where did they go? Oh, did Barrett just kill them with maybe. I'm just gonna use this anyways. I think Barrett's electric cannon just killed them. That's nice. So I did actually waste Aerith's limit break here. But again, that's okay. Okay, so basically debuffed everything. My team could use physical defense up. Oh, okay. Dies really fast. For my account at least. Again, I am using an OB10 ceremonial sword, but the strategy still applies for you, depending on what you have. Okay, and then next we're gonna fight Dine. I mean, I forgot what trances these are, so really depends on your account. I'm not a fan of this. This increases your healing but decreases your damage. Healing is usually not an issue for most people, I would say, so you would want one of these. I'm not a big fan of duration, especially physical, because the final, I mean, this is Dine is immune to physical attack down, so that doesn't really matter. and Genova does mainly magic damage, so again, doesn't matter. So this is going to be the best one. This is going to help you. I think Dyne mostly does physical damage, so this doesn't help you with Dyne, but this will help you on the final boss, Genova, by a lot, so I would choose this. Okay, now we're going to go fight Dyne. We do have darkness immunity, so that's good. I forgot to talk about items. I mean, if you're having trouble, you can use items. Most notably, you could use like a cottage, because you get 2 cottages and you get 1 mega elixir. I usually like to save mega elixir for the final boss, but you know, you can use cottages if you need. And these also, if you need, I don't really need these. So yeah, it's time to fight Dyne. Dyne is immune to attack down, so we're just going to try to kill him really fast. Yeah. Just focus on DPS and increase our team's defense as well. So again, I'm going to Kimura, increase our team's defense. Oh wait, I forgot. And yeah, okay, we can decrease his defense as well. So Floral. Make sure Floral hits before we attack. Okay, now let's attack. And you can see he dies in 1 attack. At least for me. Maybe for you he'll die in 2 or 3 attacks, but for me, fully buffed and I debuffed him, he dies in just 1 attack. Make sure you do defense stance after you kill him, because after he dies he will do 1 final attack. But if you forget to use defense stance, it probably won't kill you. I would, yeah. And you're just, after you kill Dyne, I mean, for me he's the last boss, so I'm just gonna use an elixir anyways, so I'm gonna heal anyways. So for Dyne's trance, he does have increased magic attack but decreased healing by a lot. This is pretty bad, even if you are using a magic attack team. Losing 70% healing is not really worth it. Here you have magic attack down duration, magic defense down duration. This is not bad, but my favorite is probably this one, because you gain, like, duration is nice. Like, this also has duration, but having just actual stats is my preference. I forgot what's in here. Oh, I think these are the jellies. So yeah, these are jellies which increase your team's defense. So now we're ready to do the final boss. You can use a cottage or mega elixir. Let's see, cottage will actually be fine for me, because the most important thing is your max HP. But elixir is good too. Elixir will give you full ATB and it will give you full limit breaks. Depends on your account. If you're really close to getting the S+ score, then you might want to just use a cottage, because using a mega elixir decreases your score by more than a cottage. But for me, it's really easy, so I can use either of these. Maybe I can use none of them, I think. No, well, I think I can, but I'd rather just be safe and use a cottage. And then I do recommend using these jellies. They help a lot. So increase your team's physical defense by 50%. And also the magic one, because Genova does both damage. So Genova does increased magic and physical damage. But actually, I forgot to talk about it. So before clearing the previous bosses, you could have actually ran. It is here. You could have actually ran to near the final boss, picked up the jellies, and used the jellies on any of the bosses that are giving you trouble. So if Dyne was giving you trouble, maybe you come back here and you pick up the jellies and use the physical ones, because you'll have enough for what was it, 4? You'll have 4 of each, so you'll have enough for 2 fights, almost 2 fights. I mean, one of your party members will not have a jelly for one of the fights, but yeah, you'll have enough for almost 2 fights. But for me, I like to use, like, as you see, the other bosses were pretty easy for me, so I save everything for the final boss. The final boss is the hardest. And let's look at the final boss again. So it's gonna come with these add-ons. We want to clear them. And we want to Asuna as soon as we're debuffed. and Genova is immune to physical defense down, so we don't want to use Floral 1. We're just going to build our defense and build our P attack up. Okay, let's go. So yeah, the add-ons are annoying, but they can be killed with AoE, and Zack's Limit Break is AoE, and we also have Barret doing Electro Cannon, so I'm gonna focus on Genova and let the minions stun me, which is annoying, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So let's again buff ourselves, let's debuff all the enemies, and let's see how much damage this does. Oh, not a lot of damage, so that could be a problem, but Zack almost has his limit break, so that would be. Oh yeah, they do die. I don't know. I actually don't know how these things die. How are these dying? Okay, I actually don't know why they're dying to nothing. They're dying to nothing, but okay, that's good. Then even less reason to care about. Use the limit break just for damage now. Maybe it's a bug. I don't remember the add-ons dying. Last time I did the dungeon, they were actually annoying. So Tail Laser is coming. It is the magic attack, but our team has. Oh, I forgot. I should have used Barret's. He could do magic attack down. I think I was busy talking, but that's okay. So this is the sigil phase. You see fatigue now, so we need to clear this fatigue. I actually should have cleared it on Barret first, because Barret has the circle sigil boost. Aerith is the least important because she doesn't have a sigil boost. That's okay. And actually, I should have cleared fog first on Barret, but that's okay. You don't want to use limit breaks now because Genova is immune. Okay, Zack is fatigued, so we want to clear that. Aerith is fogged. We also want to clear that. Let me just use limit breaks for damage here. I did mess up on my Asunas, but you have room to mess up. So okay, fog. I want to clear fog on. Okay, well, usually the fight will take longer than that. But my team is my Zack is very strong. So yeah, but as you can see, you just continue this. Make sure your team is buffed in defense and. Just keep hitting it. Make sure you Asuna properly. I did a pretty bad job, honestly, but yeah. So the goal with Asuna is whoever is using Asuna, you want to clear fog on them first, because if your Asuna user has fog, it will cost them 5 ATB to use Asuna compared to 3. So first clear the fog, and then after you clear the fog, then make sure you clear fatigue on Zack first, because Zack is your physical DPS, and he is the one with circle sigils. And then you want to clear fatigue on, well, I do, at least from my team. I want to clear fatigue on Barret second, because Barret has a circle sigil boost. And then the last person you want to clear fatigue on is Aerith, because Aerith does not have a circle sigil boost. But at least from my party, that is the idea. I did not do a good job with the Asunas, but good enough for the clear. Here we go, got the clear. Did I beat my score? I think I got a new record. That's cool. And yeah, that's it. That is the guide. Hopefully you can follow it and get an S+. If you're having trouble or you need help with your party setup, please leave a comment down below, and I'll try to help you get the clear yourself. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.